Good morning. Welcome to this edition of the E3 Weekly Market Report. I'm Pat McClatchy. This is September the 9th. Exports have just come out. We'll go straight to those. Cotton's looking at a very large number like last week, 344,500 running bales. Turkey took 59,100. Indonesia took 46,900. Pakistan took 44,500. And you have I'll just continue. Vietnam, 38,100. China, 29,300. Bangladesh, 28,400. And then the following year, new crop sales, 8,100. So reaction there, cotton was down 48 just before this export figure. Right now it's down 37. So it's firmed up some. Let's take a look at soybeans. Soybean, the number... and we've gone to new crop now. Let's see, 1,770,800 metric tons. China took 843,300. Unknown destination, 746,500. Bangladesh, 60,000 metric tons. And the bean market was trading just before this report unchanged. Right now, soybeans are unchanged. No change in that. We've got corn now. Corn in 2016-17, 1,093,300 metric tons. Mexico took 467,800 metric tons. Unknown destinations took 306,300, and Japan took 91,300. Corn just before the report was down 2.5. Right now, corn's down 2.5. So no real reaction here. And I see cotton that was down 48 before the report. It firmed up a small amount, and now it's down 46. So not much reaction there. Wheat, 661,100 metric tons, up noticeably from the previous week and 51% over the 4-week average. The Philippines took 178,100 metric tons. Brazil took 152,900 metric tons. China took 120,000 metric tons. Now, wheat, just before the report, was down 4.5. Now it's down 3 3/4. So those are the exports and the reactions. Pretty good numbers. A little bit of a surprise that cotton's not been able to actually hold on to its rally. It was down 48 before the report. Now it's down 50. So let's take a look. Talk about the crop progress report that came out Monday. Cotton in the good to excellent category was 48%, which was unchanged from the previous week. Specifically in Texas, good to excellent, unchanged at 40%. And bowls opening at 33%, which is right on the average. Soybeans, good to excellent, 73%, which is the same as the previous week. Looking at setting pods and dropping leaves are right on the average for this time of year. Corn in the good to excellent category, I slipped a small amount, 74% good to excellent, still very good. Previous week was 75%. Looking at all the numbers for corn, everything is on schedule or very close to it. Spring wheat, we're just looking at the harvest numbers there, 91% harvested, and the average at the time this number came out, looking over the years, was 75%. So a little ahead of schedule there. I want to talk to you a little bit about the seasonals in these markets. We've talked in the past, I remember we were talking about it last year, about the seasonal tendency among agricultural markets to move in a certain way a certain time of the year. And this is influenced by certain conditions like harvest, planting time, and typically we look at the markets like corn and soybeans and cotton making their low for the year as you're getting into harvest. That is the long-term trend. It doesn't always follow that, but typically it will. And we follow a company called Moore Research Center, or Moore Seasonal Research. They go back and they are studying these seasonal tendencies, and they'll actually give out recommendations with certain dates as to when you sell and when you buy. I want to go over a couple of these for you. Looking at December corn for the month of September, they've come out with this recommendation. Again, we'll put a big disclaimer on this. There's no guarantee that this will work. It's just based upon past history and what happens. December corn, their recommendation was on the 12th of September. You sell December corn and you stay short until October the 2nd. And based on that, out of the last 15 years, it has been correct. It would have made money in 13 of those 15 years, it would have in the past been correct 87% of the time. Now the 2nd of October comes in on a Sunday, so this would be most probably either looking at exiting on that Friday or the Monday. In the past, the average profit over 15 years was $1,251 or 25-cent profit on that. So that's something to look at, especially if you're a farmer and you're considering, okay, can we still sell off here? Well, based on the seasonal, we can. They also give a recommendation in September to sell November soybeans at the middle of the month, September 17th, and stay short until the same date as corn, October 2nd. And over the last 15 years, that actually has been correct 14 out of 15 years, or 93% of the time. The average profit is $2,280 or 45.5-cent profit. And so there's a strong tendency in the last half of September for these markets to sell off based on the seasonals and going back and studying the history of how these markets have performed. There's no specific trade given in cotton, but the seasonal pattern that we can see on the charts here, according to Moore, is that it has a tendency to sell off from September into middle of November up to right about the first part of December. That is the age-old seasonal tendency for cotton in normal years, is to sell off into that period of time. And so the market is acting somewhat heavy right now with this export report coming out being very good and not being able to rally. That's a little bit of a warning sign there for anyone that needs to be pricing some cotton or hedging some cotton. They need to be aware of that. Let's look one last time at where we are. Cotton market was down 48 just before the report. Now it's down 43, so no real change there. The soybean market was unchanged just before this export figure. Right now it is up a half-cent, no real change. Corn before the report was down 2.5, and we are down 2.5 right now. No change there. The wheat market was down 4.5. Right now it's down 4. So not a lot of reaction. Quickly looking around the board, crude oil's down $1.13 a barrel. The dollar's up 15. Gold down $1. Silver down 13. We are seeing stock markets around the world selling off. China's closed. It closed down. Europe right now is down. And the U.S. futures markets that are already trading are down. So be aware of that. We are, and I'm looking over here at the jobless numbers that just came out. Let's see what we've got, if I can find that. We'll report on it later in the day. I don't see it right at the moment. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for being with us for the E3 Weekly Market Report, and we'll talk to you later. Thank you.